Okay, everyone, today I'm going to talk about the 2-3 zone defense. This is a real popular defense or zone defense in basketball, probably the most popular one that you'll see in recreation and just kind of the younger levels. You'll see it a lot in middle school and high school ball as well. But essentially, this is probably the most well-known defense. I'm going to first talk about the setup of the 2-3 zone. In all zone defenses, they use the number system, and it goes from the front to the back. So 2, 3, and that's why it's called the 2-3 zone. Some vulnerabilities that I want you to know about on the zone is the high post. If the basketball gets into the high post, good things are going to happen for the offense, and not so good things can happen for the defense. I want you to keep in mind as we're doing this. Some other vulnerable areas that you'll see are the wings, especially for these three-point shooting teams. So if you're going up against a three-point shooting team, be careful for those areas. Obviously, the corners can become vulnerable, but you do have a little bit more flexibility there. So your primary vulnerable spots on the 2-3 zone is that wing area, the high post, and then of course the other wing area. That's what I want you to watch out for, especially as we go through some of these examples. Some reasons that teams want to use a 2-3 zone when you're going up against a team that has some real good penetrators, folks that can really get in and drive and take advantage of man-to-man. The 2-3 zone, it kind of packs in and strengthens your paint area on defense. Makes it a little bit harder for those teams with those skills to get in and get some easy shots. So if you're using man-to-man and you're finding that your guys are just being taken advantage of, switch to the 2-3 zone and see how that works. So here's your setup, as I mentioned earlier. You got your offensive players. We're gonna do X's and O's here. So if the ball's up at the top, you can have a player come up and put some pressure on that person. Just make sure that the individual that's guarding that high post is guarding that high post. You'll have to make a decision on whether or not you're going to front them. If the high post player is taller and they can do a quick lob pass, and your person that's fronting them can't execute on that, you're going to have a problem. So you kind of got to make a decision. But this person needs to be active. They need their hands up. They need to do whatever they can to discourage a pass in the high post. That's extremely important, and that's one of the first things that you want to teach when you're using this zone. So if the ball's at the top and the ball's passed to the wing, you need to be able to switch out. What I like to do in this situation is I like to have the player that's guarding the top be able to transition over to the wing player and keep our high post defender here, keeping the ball from going in. Because if they pass it to the wing, they're looking to either pass it down low or pass it into the high post, or the other option is to pass it out here to the corner. You want to make sure that you're able to cover down on that. This player comes out and can either deny the pass to the corner or stand, in a position where he or she can contest or get to the offensive player in the corner before they shoot. Just be careful about coming out too far. If this player's quick and has good basketball IQ, they can simply cut around the defensive player and get the pass here, and now you're looking at a one-on-one situation, which a lot of times might not be to your advantage. So essentially, what I like to teach my guys is go ahead and let the ball get to the corner in most circumstances. And when that happens, I am a big fan of trapping in any corner. So when that happens, I'm very audible with the team, trap, 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 putting two defenders on this ball. And their only way out is to, pass the ball down here to the low post or pass it back up to the wing. So, obviously when the ball is passed, the ball's rotated, defense must rotate. So you're going to have your big center come out here, post up there, this person here, depending on where where the offensive players are, and then the other player that's here is going to rotate. And essentially what you're trying to do in any zone defense, at least in my opinion, is you're trying to break up that court. You're trying to break it right down the middle. You want all your defensive players on the other side. Sure, they can throw the ball, they can throw a skip pass to the other side, but you can recover pretty quick. I'm going to erase this real fast and just kind of draw this out how it looks just to help you out. We got the ball in the corner in this scenario. So our player who was here is now here, and our player who was over here guarding that corner or that wing is now over here, and they're setting up that trap. This trap is really what you want at this point. You want them to be under pressure. You want them to throw a silly pass, make a mistake. You're going to have the player who is in the center here. You're going to have them pop over here. You're going to have your other player who is playing out in this short corner. You're going to have them up here. You're going to have your person guarding the high post over on this side. 2, 3, 4, 5. So now the only option is to pass the ball up to the wing. This player is, yes, indeed, guarding the high post. And yes, this person can get there. So this person kind of needs to play in between these two players. This person at this point is now what I call an interceptor. They're looking for that deflection. They're looking for that steal. Their eyes are wide open. They want to take away any option. The center, the person over here that was in the middle originally, they're doing the same thing. If there's a player here, they're looking to get that steal. They're also looking to deflect any passes to the person over here. In this case, they're probably going to end up getting the ball up here, and I don't always recommend this person to go way out here to get that, but they certainly should be moving in that direction. It's very easy for this person to get that call that they've been holding the ball too long, more than 5 seconds. So that is the strategy on that. So I'm going to rotate this around and just show what happens if they do get the ball back up into the corner, or they rotate it. So you got the balls in the corner at this point. You got your defenders here and here. You got your center here. You got your other player here and here. They move this ball back over here. Everybody just rotates. This guy comes back over here. Remember, we don't want to come all the way out. We just want to get him back over here behind the 3-point line, or just a little bit extended. And if the ball's over here on this side of the court, remember, we still want to divide the court. We still want this level of division. So, we still want to keep this basketball player here, or maybe even here. Chances are they're not going to skip past to this corner, but you never know. And if they do, we just want this guy to be able to react. What they're probably going to do is quickly move the ball up to the top of the key, and then work the ball around to the other corner. Now what I'm going to go over is what a lot of teams do. What I see a lot of teams do is they try to move the ball from wing to wing, especially when you're running your defense, where you're covering down on the high post. So what a lot of teams will do is they will set my stuff up here. What a lot of teams will do here is they'll move the ball from wing to the high post, and they'll try and get one of these 3-point shooters open. So in that case, what the team will do is they'll pass the ball here, and then as the teams are rotating, as the X's are rotating up at the top, the two guards, they'll try to get the ball into the high post and then push it over to the other wing, where they'll get a nice three-pointer. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes they get a good shot. If that's the case and they're scoring, you might want to adjust your 2-3 zone to maybe a 3-2 or run man-to-man. But I've been pretty successful at drilling or repping this out in practice to where these two guards know what's going on and they're just moving as quickly as possible to get there. If the other team's rushing it, they're not pros at it, and they shoot a three, you have a better chance here for these three defenders to box out and get that rebound. I mean, all of their offensive players in this case are out. So the chances of getting that rebound increase significantly for the defense. Another thing that teams like to do against this offense is they like to run an overload where they essentially try to get the ball over on the corner. This isn't as effective a lot of times on the 2-3 zone because you can push the ball out. But if they have, like, let's say this person's over here and they have a screener, you can get a nice corner three. So just keep this person open to that potential screener or this person. And I'll make a video on that one at a later date. I won't go into that on detail. So just to recap real quick on what we talked about, the 2-3 zone, it's set up with a two guard front and then three big men down below. Vulnerable spots is going to be that high post and the corners. You're going to use this zone defense against teams that are penetrating your man-to-man. They're penetrating, they're getting a lot of scores inside the paint. 2-3 zone is going to be perfect for that. You are going to struggle if you've got a team that is just rocking on three-pointers, especially from the wings. Like I said, the first thing that we want to do when this thing happens is we want to get that ball on one side of the court, whichever side works for you. Get that ball on one side of the court and keep it there. Reverse. Don't let them reverse the ball. That's when they're going to win. So I'll go through that one more time. Teams are gonna work this either at the high post or at the wing. They're gonna get that ball to the wing, and they're gonna look to score by getting the ball either into the paint from here at the wing, or they're gonna get to the corner and score there that way. So I don't think I mentioned this before, but try to keep that ball once you do get in the corner. Try not to let it get back out. Which is why I really emphasize at the beginning of this video that when that ball's in the corner, this guy is ready to execute, and this guy is ready to execute on that trap. When I'm drilling this in practice, after I get the normal rotation down in the defenders' minds, I start educating them on, hey, we're trying to get that ball to the corner, and once we get it to the corner, we're gonna aggressively trap. You can take it a step further and really try to keep the ball from even getting back to this guy. Let's say that your trap's not always effective and they are able to get it back to this person. Maybe you do want to take that risk and be there to deny the pass in. Just watch out for that backdoor cut. So essentially in that example, I'm trying to keep the ball from being reversed back around the court so that they can work their magic on offense. I'm trying to work my magic on defense by keeping the ball here in that corner, getting that 5-second call, or just getting a deflection or a steal. So in summary, keep the ball out of the high post. Your corners and your high post are your vulnerabilities. Keep the ball on one side of the court and trap. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe so that we can get this information out to other folks looking to learn about the 2-3 zone defense.